Okay, so we are welcome to Elite Accounting Professional Service and Ican Orientation section. The major purpose of this class is to intimate us on how to start your Ican journey. I've been getting lots of feedbacks, questions from professional colleagues on how do I start um, Ican. I'm a graduate of this. I just finished this. How do I go about the registration and everything? And so that is why I have decided to have this section with us, wherein you can ask any questions bothering you on Ican examination, whatever you need to know, feel free to ask. And we are going to do justice to that. And so it's going to be brief. I will not talk much because I would like you guys to have time to ask questions. So I'll make my presentation or whatever I want to share with you guys very, very quick so that we all can also get back to our daily activities. So can you all see my screen?
Yes, sir, we can see it clearly.
Okay, all right. So I have a presentation here that I have put up to guide us for what we are to do this afternoon. And so I'll quickly run through some of those presentations. And while the presentation is going on, if you have questions, just jot them down. So once I finish all what I need to do this afternoon, you can ask your question. So my name is Otonomoni Ipo. I'm a member of Ican. And you can see my profile if you need to. So I will move into the a table of content here. Okay, so I'll move into the table of content. So this is the table of content of what we'll be talking about majorly. So I won't dwell much on um, certain points because I know at least some of us will be familiar with those topics. So like we'll talk about ICANN, professional students, the eligibility, then what are the requirements for registering, how to register to become a member of ICANN, and then the examination structure of ICANN. So these are the things that we'll be looking at this afternoon. So basically, I won't dwell much on this. As we all know, I will also make this presentation slide available to you guys. As you know, ICANN is a professional body. It is one of the two professional accounting associations in Nigeria with regulatory authority. And the other body is ANAN. ANAN is for mostly for people who work in governmental organizations, people that work in government parastatals. They rather prefer going for ANAN rather than ICANN. But some people go for the two. If you are capable, you can use ICANN to get ANAN. But for ANAN, you can, there are there are some exams that you are also going to write if you want to use ANAN to get ICANN. So that's the two major regulatory body for professional accountants in Nigeria. And ICANN was established in 1965. ICANN was established in 1965. And then, of course, the mission is to produce world-class chartered accountants who regulate and continuously improves the ethical standard and technical competence in the public. That's one of the major reasons why ICANN was established. And currently, we have more than 38,000 public accountants working in different sectors in the economy. So that's just the brief introduction about ICANN. And I'll move on to who is eligible for Ican certificate. Ican has made it very, very interesting for students because they understand the fact that some students might not be opportune to go to the university or to get higher qualification. And so I can also have like a subsidiary of their institution called ATWA. That's called ATWA. That's Association of Accounting Technicians of West Africa. So ATWA can be gotten by those who have only O-level results. So if, for instance, you are only opportune to finish um, secondary school and you want to become chartered, there is also an opportunity for you to start from ATWA with your O-level results. So with your O-level results, having 5 credits in major topics, you can start from ATWA. Then once you finish your ATWA stage, you will be issued a certificate called AAT. AAT is very, very important because that certificate is mostly equivalent to BSc certificate and HND certificate. So you can use such certificate to apply to the university for um, what's it called? These people that usually enter 200 levels. You can use it to apply for direct entry. You can use AAT certificate to apply for direct entry. And so from there, you can use AAT to now register for professional students. And there you can go on to become a chartered accountant. So another category of people who is eligible for ICANN is those who have certificate from the university and also from the polytechnic. So with your ND certificate, with your HND certificate, you are eligible to write ICANN. So that is that for eligibility. And then I'll move to the requirement. So what are the requirements? The minimum requirement that has been approved by the institute is one, your O level. That's the basic, your O level, your university certificate, or your higher national diploma or national diploma certificate, and any other qualification that might be approved time to time by the council. So I can usually have, they also have criteria for other students, maybe students who are coming from outside Nigeria. Maybe you schooled in Ghana and you want to, for instance, you now find yourself in Nigeria and you want to apply for ICANN. There are also privileges that has been given to such students, and also students who schooled abroad and then they are back home in Nigeria and they want to apply for ICANN. There are other qualifications that have been approved by the institute. So these qualifications, diet by diet, the institute do release the requirements, and certain times they make adjustments to such requirements. And so how do you register for ICANN as a professional student? So mostly when let's assume you are done with your AAT certificate, you are done with your university degree, and then you want to proceed to register as a professional student. What are the steps you are expected to take? So the first thing before you can come into ICANN to register as a professional student is that you need to register as a student member. Call it a professional student member. So that's the first thing you need to do. And to do that is very simple. All you need to do is to go to the bank. So most of the times you do all your transactions in the bank. But recently, ICANN has developed online payment, wherein students can also make payments online. But one of the challenge of those online payments is that you might have system glitch, and you might be debited, and the receipt and the pin and all of those things will not be issued to you, and you start calling and all of that. So those are the issues that we still have when it comes to um, the online payments. But if you want to have a smooth process, you can go to the bank, any of the commercial bank, and make your payment. So I think recently the payment for student member was changed. Initially, it was 7,000 naira, and then bank charges of 300 naira. But now I think is close to 9,000 or 10,000 thereabouts, and then bank charges of 300 naira. So when you go to the bank, you feed the teller, and then on the teller, just indicate the payment you are paying. Just indicate professional student member, ICANN professional student member. You put the amount there, you include your bank charge, and then you submit it to the teller, the attendee that will attend to you. So the attendee will help you process your payment. They already have a platform with the bank. ICANN already have platform with all the banks. So they would process it based on what you have indicated. So they will, once they do that, they are going to issue you a payment receipt. So that payment receipt, on the form, you are going to see something like this, something I have included here. So that payment receipt is what you now take to the online platform to register. So just click on the website. There's a website on that payment receipt. So you log in the website on your system, and it will take you to where you are going to register as a student member. So once you make that payment, it will automatically reflect on ICANN portal that certain name has made a payment, and a PIN and a password will be generated for you. So that PIN and password, and also the deposit slip number that you use in making payment, would be required of you to log in to the ICANN platform. So once you log into the ICANN platform, the portal will open for you to register. So from there, you can now register and fill all necessary information, and then you upload your document. So most of the document that will be required of you is your certificate. Which of the certificates are you coming up with? Is it BSc in ICANN, BSc in accounting, or BSc in other courses? Is it HND in accounting and then HND in other courses? ICANN is open to all disciplines. ICANN is not restricted to accountants alone or accounting students. It's open to all disciplines. So once they verify your document, you are going to print out that document and give it to a referee. So you are going to have a referee that will help you sign your document. So once that referee signs that document, before before now, that document that is signed by your referee, you have to take it to ICANN office and submit it in hard copy. So but now is not, they have tried to make the process more simple. So once your referee signs your document, he signs your printed form, your completed printed form, you are now going to upload it back on that same portal. There will be a place where you upload it. So you scan all your documents into one PDF. So once you do that, you submit. So after submission, ICANN is going to verify your document. So once they verify your documents, I think that takes like 2 weeks. Once your document has been verified and everything is fine, a student number will be sent to you. That is your registration number. To be sent to you as text message and also as email. So that student member confirms that you are now a student member of ICANN. So after that, you can now proceed to either, if you are coming in for if you are coming in with BSc in accounting, because what determines if you will be exempted, because there's something we call the exemption. That exemption is to exempt you from a particular stage in Ican. So what determines whether you'll be granted exemption is two things. Number one is your qualification. What are you coming in with? Is it BSc in accounting? Is it HND in accounting? Is it ND in accounting? And is it certificate in other discipline? That's one thing that determines whether you enjoy exemption. The other thing is accreditation. So all the schools in Nigeria, I can usually accredit such schools. So if your schools are part of the list of accreditations that ICANN has, because ICANN every 4 years, they go to schools to accredit them. So that accreditation means that your school has fulfilled the requirements to bring in their students into the professional body. So if your school has fulfilled the requirements, that is, and I think during my time, during my undergraduate days, I could remember when ICANN members came to the my school to determine, to see if the department is well equipped to bring in students that would register for ICANN exam. So what the things that they check most of the time is the quality of your lecture, the environment. How they will check your previous record, for the department. How has been the performance of students, and some other qualification or criteria that will be given by the VC of that particular school. So once your school has been accredited, ICANN is going to update it on their portal. So once your school is accredited, that's also a benefit for you to be entitled or given exemption. So, but most of the time, when you are coming in with certificate in accounting, let's assume BSc certificate in accounting, you will be granted exemption. That exemption is that you'll be granted exemption from the foundation level, because ICANN consists of three levels. ICANN consists of three levels. We have foundation level, we have skills level, and then we have professional level. So if you are coming in with BSc degree in accounting, if you are also coming in with HND in accounting, you will be granted exemption. Peradventure, your school is accredited. If your school is not accredited and you are coming in with BSc in accounting, HND in accounting, you might be asked to go back to foundation and write a particular paper. But if your school is accredited by ICANN and you are coming in with BSc in accounting and HND in accounting, you'll be granted exemption. So that exemption is that you are going to make a payment of exemption fee. Exemption is that you are no longer writing foundation, but rather you want to start from skills. So you are going to make payments for exemption. The exemption fee is usually updated every diet. So I think recently the exemption amount has been increased. Before it was 53,000 naira, but now I think it's close to about 70 something thousand. So how to make the payment for exemption is still the same process. The same process you use in paying for your student membership registration. That's the same process you will use. So ICANN is the same process. So just go to the bank, fill the teller, put your registration number now, because now you would have gotten a registration number. Put your registration number, put what you are paying for. ICANN professional exemption fee. So once you put that, you put your name and everything, submit it to the teller, and then you give the teller your money. The teller is going to process it for you. and then give you the payment receipt. So that payment receipt is what you will take to the online portal, register, fill your biodata and every other information. And then your document also, same thing, you give it to a referee for the referee to sign on your behalf, and then you upload it back. So that will also take like 2 weeks for it to be completed. So after it has been completed, keep checking your portal. Keep checking your portal. Before you made the payment for the exemption, if you check your portal, you discover that your portal is showing foundation. It shows that the paper you want to write is in foundation. But if you have paid for the exemption and the exemption has been approved by Ican, if you check your portal again, you are not going to see foundation. You are going to see skills. So that means that you have been exempted from the foundation level. So once you have done that, that is for those who are coming in with BSc in accounting and HND in accounting. But if you are coming in with ND in accounting, you'll be exempted from 2 papers. And you'll be exempted from 2 papers in foundation. So you will start from foundation, but you will not write all the papers in foundation. And if you are also coming in with AAT certificate, you are coming in with AAT certificate. AAT certificate is for those that started with O level. You started with your WAEC result or your GCE result, and you have completed the ATWA stage, and you have been issued AAT certificate. If you are coming in with AAT certificate into the professional level, you will be exempted from foundation. You know, I told you that the AAT certificate is similar to BSc, so it's the same thing. So you also do the process of paying for exemption for foundation. Once you have been granted, you would now you proceed to skill stage. So, but if you are coming in with any other certificate in aside accounting, any other certificate aside accounting, you are going to start from foundation. But for um for some for some certificates like biz admin, banking and finance, those courses that are similar or related, partly related to accounting, you will be granted certain exemption from some papers. But most of the time, those set of people start from foundation and they write all the papers in foundation. And then if you are also coming in from other schools, and you are coming in with masters and all of that, there are also criteria for you. So you can always check this criteria on Ican portal. It's usually updated every diet. So you can see where you fall. You can see where you belong. You can see whether you are granted exemption or not. And then you can see how many papers you would be writing. So that will tell you and let you know the particular stage that you are in. So that is that about the exemption and then the accreditation. So if you now want to pay for your exam, it's still the same process. If you are starting from foundation, if you are starting from skills, the process of payment for examination is the same process at which you did for your student membership and then your exemption payment. So go to the bank. You would have seen on your portal, because you will have a dashboard after you've been registered. So that dashboard will tell you the amount you have to pay for if you are writing all the papers. And if you are also writing some set of papers, when I can release the brochure or the notification for registration in a particular diet, you will see the payment breakdown. You will see for 1 payment, you will see for 2 payments, you will see for 3 papers, for 4 papers and the like. So anyone you want to pay, just pick it. Once you note the amount that ICANN has put there, just go to the bank plus 300 naira bank charge, include it, and then fill the teller and pay to the give it to the teller. The teller will process it and give you your receipt. So that receipt is what you use and take to the online portal. Then you use it to register and then you are good to go. So I will briefly talk about the structure and then the strategies to deploy when writing ICAN examination. So like I said, the exam is divided into, please, can we mute our mic? Okay, so like I said earlier, the exam is divided into three. We have foundation skills and professional stage. And so I think I've made mention of this, so I won't dwell much on this. So, but the structure of the exam is that for foundation, initially before now, foundation, you write 5 papers. That is inclusive of taxation. But now, taxation has been moved to skills level. So for skills level now, you are writing 6 papers. Initially, it was 5, while foundation also was 5. But now you'll be writing 6 papers in skills and then 4 papers in foundation. And then the foundation level is you have multiple choice question, and then you also have theoretical question. And then recently, before the beginning of this year, a news was passed by Ican that foundation level will be shifted to CBT, that it will not be paper and paper, but rather CBT would also be inclusive. And they said it's going to start from last diet, which is May diet. But unfortunately, we didn't see that happening. The foundation was still paper and paper. And so we don't know if that will be implemented in November diet. But one thing is certain, we once we know that CBT is what ICANN is going to use, we are going to intimate all our students, and then we are also going to guide them on how they are going to answer questions on CBT, and we also train them uh, on computer, on how to go about computer exam. But for now, the foundation paper is still paper and pencil. And then what are the hints? The foundation is very simple. With our mode of lecture and how we structure our classes, it's very, very simple. All you just need to do is to have a full grasp of what each of those courses entails, and then you study more past questions. And then so that's basically foundation. So once you understand what each of those courses entails, and then you study more of past questions, you are good to go. And for skills level, we have 6 papers, like I said, and all of them are all theoretical questions. So there is no multiple choice here or objective. All you have is theoretical, and you have a compulsory question which you are expected to answer, plus any other 4 questions given in 2 different sections. So on each sections, you are going to be told you are going to be asked to answer 2 questions from each section out of 3, plus your compulsory question. So in total, you are answering 5 questions. And the basic hint is that you have a basic understanding of the key principle. Basic understanding of the key principle. ICANN exam is not your school exam. Your school exam is your ICANN exam is much more advanced than your school exam. So the knowledge you have during your undergraduate days would also be of help. But you need to understand the key principles. There are some strategies, there are some principles that you need to know when writing ICANN exam. And these principles are what we are going to give to you when you attend our lectures. If you attend our lecture, we are going to tell you what you need to know on each courses, how you can quickly scale through each courses, the principle you need to know, the foundation, because this skills level is very, very important. This skills level is what the professional level builds on. So what is in, if you can get the skills level very, very correct, if your foundation, if your basic principle in skills level is very, very intact, when you get to professional, you will not have issues because all the courses in professional, they are just advanced level of skills. So if you know your skills level very well, when you get to professional, you won't have issues. But if you don't, you will still have to come back to some of the knowledge and skills to help you in professional. And that is why this level is very, very important. So we are going to give you all the requirements, the strategies, things that you need to know to pass through this level. And once you pass through this level, believe in me, your professional level is a work in progress. So those are the things you see under professional or skills level. And then for professional level, same thing. It's just advanced. You can see most of the things you see here, they are all advanced, advanced, advanced. The only thing that is different here is case study. And case study is just a combination of every other things that you've been taught from foundation skills and also in professional. And at this point, believe in me, you have no stress. In as much as you've understood what we teach you during your skills level, and then also one or two things that would also give to you in your professional level, you are good to go. And we have quality lecturers who are seasoned with the current happenings in the economy. Because one thing you need to know about Ican is that Ican is a profession that sticks with the current happening. So as a professional student, as you are coming in to write Ican, you need to know what is going on in your economy. I know most of us, we don't read news. Most of us, we don't read what is happening in the economy. The policies that the president and every other institute, the policies they are making every day, some of us don't care because we feel we are not concerned. No, one of the mindsets you should have is that anytime any policy is being released by um, any authority in Nigeria, you are expected to know because ICANN is going to test you. ICANN tests students on the current happenings. So you might be tested on the policy that the government is making. So you need to know, you need to facilitate yourself with everything. So be interested in news, be interested in what is going on in your economy. These are hints that you are going to use to pass ICANN because ICANN evolves with the economy. Whatever is happening now, ICANN is going to set questions relating to it. And when you have no basic idea of what that thing is, you will not be able to tackle such questions. So the hint is that you must have a full grasp of the current happenings in the economy. Practical exposure. When you get to this professional level, your practical exposure will also be of great help to you in passing the exam. Basic understanding of key principles in skills. Those strategies that you use in skills level, they are much more relevant in this professional level. And then you study more of past questions. You know, combined to all of these together, these are things that we are going to give to you. We are going to give to you when you attend our ICANN lectures. And so I'll quickly move to the strategies to deploy during exam. What are the things that you are supposed to do? So I have titled this the do's and the don'ts of ICANN examination. The number one is that you answer all questions as prescribed in the requirements. So whatever answer you'll be giving to ICANN, let's make sure that there are answers that are required of you. Do not answer any question that is not in the requirements. The next thing, another thing you do during ICANN examination is that you answer questions that you know first. Questions that you know first gives you confidence in the exam. It boosts your morale. You know, it boosts your thinking capacity. So always answer questions that you know first. let it be the first thing you do before you now start tackling other questions that you don't know, or some of them that you have idea but you don't have the full knowledge of. Another thing is that do not answer compulsory questions first. Answer compulsory question last or in between, but do not answer it as the first question. So when you get to the exam or you don't answer compulsory question first, let it be the last thing you do, or let it be in between once you have answered questions you know first. Because compulsory questions can put you off. It can put you off throughout the exam if you don't know it and you do it first. Another thing you should take note of is that you should be confident. Be confident of yourself and do not be frightened by examination tension. Be confident of yourself. Don't let examination tension take away all what you know, because when you are fearful and you are going for like an exam, that alone is already a sign that you won't do well. So, but be confident, trust God. Trust Him that that which you have read, that which you know, is what Ican is going to set. And then finally, you practice more of past questions during the final 2 weeks. Ican most of the time repeat questions from previous year, previous diet. And also they take questions from ACCA. So practice more questions. Practical, when you practice more of past questions, they expose you to the various angles Ican can set questions from. Most of the time, Ican don't usually have new questions. They repeat questions from previous diets. So when it's getting to the final 2 weeks to your exam, make sure you practice more and more questions. So many more of these tips, coupled with our quality lectures, these are the things that we are going to give to you when you attend our tutorial class. And our tutorial class is so flexible and beautiful in a way that you have opportunity to interact with colleagues. You have opportunity to share ideas different with different colleagues, with different people in different sector. The last diet that we just recorded 99% pass rate can give you an hint of what you are to expect. A lot of people think that online class is a class where you will not understand or you will not concentrate. That's a lie. In fact, technology, the way things are going now, schools are now putting technologies in place such that you can do your MBA from your comfort zone. Schools in abroad are now putting mechanism in place where you can do MBA at your convenience. You can do it anywhere. So online class is an opportunity for you to fully understand, because there will be an avenue to go back to what has been taught. You can always go back to recorded videos. You can always go back to listen to whatever you do not understand. And the way our online class is being structured is that we are solving each questions for you. You are seeing the way we are solving it. We are not just reading it out for you on the system. We are solving it for you. And it's like the practical class, and it's much more convenient than practical. You won't have time to pass through the stress of you are entering buses, transportation, and then when you get to lecture center, you're already tired and exhausted and the likes. At your convenience, at your pace, you would understood all what we are going to give to you. And what we tell our students is that do not come to online class with a mindset that you are just coming to an online class. You come to an online class with the mindset that this is also a physical class, wherein you come with your biro, you come with your pen, you come with your calculator. Because as we are solving, you are also solving, you are writing it out. One of the ways you can pass Ican, which I told my students, and they all adhere to it, and the pass rate showed that they all adhere to it, is that Ican is practice. Ican is not theory. Whatever you know upstairs, make sure you practicalize it. So, for example, if you are taught maybe in SFM now, or let me put even performance management, you are taught relevant costs. Whatever thing that we teach you in class, make sure you are writing, you are jotting it down. The way we are solving the question, make sure you are also jotting it down. Even though we are also going to make those materials available to you, make sure you write something down in your notes, because that alone builds your capacity. That alone enhances learning for you. You are not just looking at the screen, but rather you are solving, you are calculating, you are writing. That's how you pass question. If you for Ican is not head knowledge. Oh. If you if you use head knowledge to write Ican, no, you will not pass it. Because if I give you a question on relevant costing and you just use head knowledge, okay, I think I know it, I know it. I will give you another same question on relevant costing. You will not be able to answer it. Why? Because you did not write down something when you were being taught. So online class is also physical class and is much more convenient than um, physical class. And I tell you, when you join our class, when you join our lecture class, you would definitely enjoy lecturing, and then you would also see, coupled with your hard work, because there is no we are going to give you what we do in lecturing is that we give you the strategies, we build you up, we give you the key principles, the ideas, the strategies that you need to know to pass the exam. But much of the work also is within you. You also need to read and you study. Our class will give assignments, and those assignments must be submitted. So it's not you just come and no. We train you how to be efficient and effective on this exam. So 70% of the work lies in your end, but we would have simplified it for you. We would have made it very, very easy for you to understand and for you to stand on your own and study questions relating to that. So what are the don'ts that you are not supposed to do in the exam? Like I told you, do not focus on one question for too long. When you get to the exam, don't focus on one question for too long. When you notice that a particular question is giving you tough time, leave it. Go and do questions that you know. That's why I tell you in the previous slide that you should always do questions you know first, such that you will not waste your time on a question for too long. And then another thing is that do not leave any question unanswered before submission. Even though you don't know a particular question that is being asked, you must have an idea. That idea alone can fetch you mark. All you just need is to put that idea down, because the pass rate for ICANN is just 50%. 50 marks. 50 mark is the pass rate, but we don't train our students to pass alone, but rather we train our students to pass exceptionally. We have a lot of testimony from this last diet. We have a student who has been writing case study and SFM for a very long time. And then she just joined our WhatsApp group and she saw our revision class. She just joined revision class. She didn't even join us for the normal lecture. But the revision class that we usually do 2 weeks, 2 weeks to the exam, she joined for SFM and case study. And lo and behold, the case study that she has been failing over time, the SFM that she has been failing over time, she had 76, she had 63 for SFM, 76 for case study. Why? She joined our revision class and we taught her the key principles of passing case study, the key principles of passing SFM. Not only that, we also have lots of testimonies about people who have been having challenges, people who are working Saturday, Sunday, who don't have time to attend lectures, and they saw our online class. And lo and behold, they attended the class, and when the result was released, is now a testimony. So, but they also played their own part by ensuring that they study. Whatever we teach you, put it into practice, and then you will see yourself celebrating by the grace of God at the end when the result will be released. And the last thing is that you should not answer compulsory questions first. Do not answer compulsory questions first. So you will not put yourself up in the exam. So those are the things that I have for you. And I say thank you very much for listening to this beautiful piece of ICANN orientation. I'm sure with this viewpoint of mine, you have understood the basics on how to go about your registration, what and what you need to do, how to um, fill in the form and also register for the exam. So at this point, I'm going to give room for questions. If you have questions and concerning the registration, concerning the requirement, concerning the exam, and also concerning our online class, feel free to ask your question, and then we are going to do justice to that. So the floor is open for questions.
Good afternoon, sir.
Okay, good afternoon.
Well, sir, thank you for the lecture. I really appreciate your efforts, and we hope that the normal lecture will go as you have done this one. Because frankly speaking, this is very interesting. I have two questions.
Okay,
One has to do with the aspect I am let me say PhD holder in accounting. I want to go for the exemption. Do I've checked the online. My exemption this fee is about 135,000 naira. And though I've registered since 2012, 2013, when I was doing my undergraduate, have not been able to write the exam because of my MSc and this PhD, because I wanted to finish everything. So I'm done now. Now, if I want to make, I have to make the money for my dues. It's about 50 something thousand when I check this in the site. My question on that aspect is that by now, I've not made the payment for the dues. After making the payment for dues and make payment for the exemption, how soon does it take before I'll be confirmed that at least I'll be sure that I've been exempted before I can be able to put in for the exam? Because I'm looking at the possibility that maybe by this November or next May diet to put in for the exam. That is one aspect. The second aspect has to do with the issue of the payment. I've also seen your this in the price list that for one subject, one course, two course up to the six. Is it possible? Can the payment be made instrumentally, or one must pay everything at once? That is the second question. Thank you very much.
all right. Thank you very much, sir, for that question. Okay, let me start from the first question. So for the first question, after making payment for the dues and exemption, for the dues reflects within um, 72 hours. So what that means is that if you are owing maybe a subscription fee for a very long time and then you made the payment, you are going to, you will give ICANN 3 days for that to reflect on your portal. But sometimes it's not up to 3 days, 24 hours it will reflect. And if it doesn't reflect, you can reach out to me. I'll give you a contact of the people in charge of that, of dues payment, and they will update your record. And for the exemption usually takes 2 to 3 weeks. So once you fill the form, you submit your documents, and ICANN is going to verify your document. So once they are verified, so but initially the challenge is that ICANN do not usually send notification or something just to show that you have been your exemption is now successful. So what people do just to know is you will go to your dashboard and you will click on examination status. So once you click on examination status, before your payment, you are going to see you will be in foundation level, or you will be in a particular level. You would have known that, okay, this is not the normal, this is not the level I'm supposed to be. I'm supposed to be in the other level. So once you have made the payment and it's now 2 3 weeks, go back to that your examination status and check it again. So if it is successful, you discover that the previous level where you were, which you weren't supposed to pay, you are now in the other level. So once you see yourself in the other level, once your examination status is showing that you are in the other level, then that it means that your application is successful. But when you still shows the previous level that you were in, and then is now up to 2-3 weeks, then you can now send an email. You can send an email to Ican, and then giving them your complaints, and it will be attended to. But most of the time, you don't need to send an email, it will be done. So that's how you know that your application is successful, and it usually takes 2 to 3 weeks. For the second question, okay, we understand the current happenings in the economy, and we know how things are increased for a very long time. So what we do is that we allow installment payments, but there is a deadline for students to make full payment. So when we start the class, we allow students to attend our lecture and see how our mode of teaching, and see how our mode of teaching is structured, but that's only done for 1 to 2 weeks. So from the second week of lecture, you are expected to make an installment payment. And so once you make an installment payment, you are going to, of course, you will tell us when you feel you can pay the complete part, but it must not exceed the timeline that the management has also put in place for students to make full payment. So most of the time, after 1 month, we expect you to have made full payment. So if you make maybe 70% or 50% of your payment in the second week, we expect that before the fourth week, which is 1 month of that. But most of the time, we won't allow you to get there. But that's the grace, the ultimate grace we give to you, for you to have made your payment. At least by then, you would have collected salary, and then you would have at least get 1 or 2 things to make your full payment. So we allow installment payments, but there is also a deadline for you to make your complete payment. I hope that answers your question.
Yes, thank you very much. Okay.
Okay, do we have any other question?
Thank you very much, sir. We really appreciate you for this enlightenment. And sincerely, I must tell you, you've really convinced me that with you, it is possible to make my Ican. I have some questions. Yes, sir. The first one is that, you said something that after making the payment for our exemption, we have to go back to our dashboard to check maybe they've changed the, how will I put it? They've changed the
status.
Yeah, the story. That they've changed the status. You understand me?
Yeah.
Now, let's say in a situation whereby you've made the payment now. Are you with me, sir?
Yes, I'm with you.
Okay, you've made the payment, but still they've not changed the status. There is no way we can proceed to register for exam.
Yes.
Then another thing I want to ask about is that the other time, one of our colleagues here talked about the price list for each courses for the lectures. Like, I don't even know about that one. Can we see the price list so that we can know what it takes for us to at least make the payment? Then what's your plan, sir, for we that we are salary earners? You understand? They pay us monthly, and we are intended to achieve this through your profession. So how do you intend to help us, please?
Okay, thank you very much. So let me start with the first question. So the first question, like I said earlier, once it has gotten to 2-3 weeks and the status has not been changed, you can send an email to Ican. Their email is always open. You can send an email to them, putting your registration number and stating that you have applied for exemption, but you have not seen that your exemption has been approved, they are going to communicate back to you and they are going to do what they are supposed to do. So, but most of the time, they don't allow you to get to the point where people call them. So, but they might have one challenge or the other from their end, and so that's why you send an email. So the most appropriate thing to do is to send an email to them. So, but if you are close to any of their office, if you are close to Ican office in Victoria Island or the one at Ebute Meta or wherever you are, you can go to their office. So just go to their office with your documents and they are going to do it. So people that come to their office, any issue that you have, they resolve it automatically for you once they have confirmed and all of that. But most of the time, because I know ICANN is efficient when it comes to exemption payments and all of that, but we might have one or two challenge. But most of the time, it do not get to that point. But peradventure, it gets to that point, that's the next step of action to take. So you send an email if you are far from their office, and if you are close, you can go with your documents and complain. They are going to resolve it. So for the second question, the price list, are you in our WhatsApp group page?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I'm going to reshare the price list after this class. I will share the price list for you to see. Just you can chat me up, but I will also reshare it in the WhatsApp group page so that everybody can see the the price list. And the third
Thank you.
question that you said about salary earner, of course, I know that most ICANN students are all salary earners. Some of them are business owners also, and they work. So, but we give the privilege of the fact that most of the time, month end is when we get paid. So, and that is why we have decided to allow installment payments. We allow installment payment, so you can make 50% payment or 70% just to show commitment. So because we want you to be committed. We don't want you to take this exam with levity. When something is free, sometimes students abuse it. When you know it is free, they'll be chasing you up and down to attend class and all of that. But when you make commitment, when your money is in something, you put in all efforts to make yourself available. So what we do is that we ensure you make a commitment, at least the 50% commitment from the second week. Then from the fourth week, when you collect your salary, you can now balance up your payment. And so that's how we try to make it flexible. But you must make a commitment. And the list for the commitment is at least 50%, just to show that yes, you are with us and we know that you are with us. And then once you get your salary, you can now make the complete payment for the lecture. And we have put in our examination fee to be very, very affordable. It is very, very affordable. Looking at the quality of lectures we give and the economy, we understand how things are. Even when people are increasing things and all of that, we didn't increase our price too much. We also know that certain things have increased from our end, but we also understand the priority we give is that there is a joy when people pass. And so one of the mission of this institute is that we want to see you pass. We want to see you qualify as a professional accountant. We want to assist in our own capacity to build you guys, to give you what you need. So, but at least we also need to balance it with the commitment, because lecturers that will also be teaching you, they also need to, they need resources to ensure that they give you the best. So the least you can do to encourage them from the onset is to give them a commitment. So after the commitment, once it is month end, you make your payment to balance everything up. I hope that answers your question, sir.
Yes, thank you very much, sir. Please, sir, can we have your contact here?
Yes, you can have my contact. Let me drop it in the chat box. Let me drop my contact in the chat box. You can always reach out to me. You can always reach out and also refer us to your colleagues. So that's my contact. That's my WhatsApp number also. Do we have any other question very quickly?
Yes, I do. Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Yeah, thank you very much for this session. I really appreciate your concern and the way you have systematically taken us through. And my questions, I have two questions actually. One is I have enrolled for classes of this nature for like 2 times, and from experience, I will say the first weeks are always very okay and impressive, but then getting to the mid of the sessions are the periods we usually find very interesting when either a tutor says he's busy or he would reschedule or something. So then we will do experience inconsistency and all. So I just want a form of reassurance or assurance from you, because I was actually referred to you, and I just want a reassurance, because at least I took the last diet question, and in fact, I'm still in the pain. I won't deceive you, because I really try. I will say I prepared on my own, as in I prepared so very much for this paper, but it is just what it is, and I'm trying to move on it. So I just want you to at least help try to reassure us that from the start to the end, you would be available to guide us through all these periods. That's the first question. Then my second question is, what do you see to using past questions to as a form of as a form of illustration or examples for us? Because sometimes, when we are not familiar with those questions, when we just like you made mention of us going through these past questions 2 weeks to the exam, by that, it's not every of us that can really go through all the past questions, or let me say 5 diets upward questions. So what would you say? What is your own take about using these past questions as illustrations in classes for us? Those are my 2 questions. Thank you very much, sir.
Okay, thank you very much, sir, for those questions. Let me start from the first one. Like you said, you need a reassurance. One thing that we cannot predict is what will happen after now. And it is always our prayer that God continues to guide each and every one of us and keep us intact and in good health. So I cannot say that there might not be 1 or 2 instances where a lecturer would not be available. I can't guarantee that. But one thing I can guarantee for you is that any of our lecturer that is not available for a class would definitely reschedule that class to ensure that it holds. We cannot be perfect and make everything 100%. There might be 1 or 2 instances where lecturers would not be available. Let's give room for that. But one thing I can also assure is that that lecturer would fix up time to cover for that period. And the way we structure our class is that for those we are not the classes that we are going to hold, which I know on a norms, we want to be 100% available, and that is what we aimed at. 100% we are all available, giving you the lectures as it is in the timetable. But there are instances where a lecturer might have one or two things to do. Those classes will be made up for, and you will also going to get value for it. In fact, when the exam is gradually getting close, the normal timetable, we do extra hours. We do weekdays. Normally, weekdays are not part of what is in your timetable. We are not, if we want to go by, okay, let's structure it the way it is. We will not even say, okay, let's go the extra mile, but our lecturers go the extra mile to the point that they do weekdays for you. Apart from the weekend classes that you are going to have, they are also going to fix weekdays class. And that might be later in the evening. And why are they doing that? And it's not because they missed class. It could not be that it's not a makeup class at all. It's not part of what you paid for actually. But they are doing this so that you can meet up those courses those topics that you need to cover up. So what do we say in those cases when lecturer go the extra mile? The way they also sacrifice, we also give room for instances where they will not be available. But I'm not saying that's what we are going to do. I'm just saying that these are things that might likely happen to anybody, and some of those people will not be available. One thing I can assure you is that if they are not available, they are going to make up that class for you. And that doesn't stop them to also go the extra mile in fixing classes to ensure that you meet up what you are supposed to do. That's for that. So I'll give you the assurance of the fact that any class that any lecturer miss, it will be made up for. And do not even for physical class, sometimes it happens because God, our trust is that God keeps each and every one of us intact and in good health. You might have a situation where one thing will just happen, one or two things, and the lecturer won't be available. It's not only for online class. It's not that physical class they all come 100%. Everybody will, from the beginning of the class to the end, the structure is that everybody must be available. And we are not taking levity of the fact that nothing happened and then the lecturer will say he's not available. No, we are not taking of the fact. There will be proper communication. You have interactions with your lecturer. It's not we are not student and lecturer that we are far from each other. No, there is constant communication. The lecturer is carrying you up because you'll be in a group. We are going to put everybody in a group based on what you have paid for, and there will be proper communication on these are things, and even when you are also not available for lecture, you can communicate to your lecturer, and the lecturer will look for ways to make up such classes for you. So there are rooms for unforeseen circumstances, but we plan that even when those unforeseen circumstances come, we are going to cover it and give you the best. And part of how we do that is making up class and also going the extra mile by fixing classes during weekdays. Maybe when you are back from work, we fix class so that they are also going the extra mile to give the best to you. So we can also give room to them and say, okay, if this thing happens, these are things that we're likely going to see. But it's not an assurance that that is what we are going to do. No, we are always 100% available. But nobody knows what will happen in the next 1 hour. It is our prayer that we will not get news or things that would, choke us up and all of that. But that's not the plan at all. We are 100% available. We are 100% available for you guys. So that is for the second question. The third question is the issue of past questions. So the way we structure our class is that all the examples we do in the class, they are all past questions examples. So we pick them from past questions and solve. So let's say, for instance, we are teaching you corporate reporting. We are teaching you group accounts. The example we are going to use are examples that are taken from past questions. So what we are doing is that we are already studying past questions from the onset of the class. We are using one stone to kill two birds. We are teaching you the course, the topic. You are also studying past questions. So if you are fully integrated into what we are doing, and you focus on the class, you pay attention when the lecturer is teaching you, that particular topic or that particular question has already been dealt with for you in that past question. So when you see it again in another form, you would know how to tackle it. So our examples in the class, in fact, that's major things we used last diet. So the way we now balance it up, we balance it up in a situation where there are some topics that you don't just go into past question to solve, because the truth of the matter is that it's not about let's solve past question. It's about understanding the principle in that past question, because our past question is not Lacan Lapo. It is the principle. So there are some questions that you cannot just go to past question and let's use past question as an example. No. If it requires the lecturer to give you basic principle on how to go about it, basic principle on how to solve those questions, once you understand that basic principle, if they bring in past question, you can know what to do. Because if you just use past question as an example for some topics, wherein you have not taught the basic principle, what the student needs to know, the lecturer will just be solving that past question for you. And then you will think, oh, I think I understand the way the lecturer solved this past question. But when you take another question to solve, and you want to do it the way the lecturer solved the previous one, you will discover that at the end of the day, you fail it or you won't get it. And then you will now be asking yourself, why? Why did I fail it? Is this not how the lecturer solved that previous question? No, that's because there is a basic principle that you are supposed to have understood before going to solve past questions in that regard. So there are instances where if the lecturer knows that, okay, I think we can use past questions to solve, he is going to solve past question and use it in the class. But if there are instances where he's going to give you some basic principle, because it's not about, if you know the basic principle, no matter where Ican will come from in any question, you will be able to jot down something. You'll be able to solve that question. But when you don't know the basic principle, the key thing in a topic, and you just go to past question, the idea you are going to have is that, okay, I think I understand the way they solve this past question. But when you take another question to solve, you now want to apply that same principle to that question, because each question has their own unique. Each question has their own techniques. If you don't know what you are supposed to know, and you see another question structured in a way that it is different from the question that you solved earlier, you will just do it and then discover that you did not get it. And then you start asking yourself, why didn't I get it? It's because you have missed the principle. So we teach principle, we teach you the key points, and we teach you past questions. If you know those ones, there is no question that you will see. You will know what and what to put down. I don't know if that answers your question.
Yeah, it does actually. Thank you very much, sir.
All right, thank you very much. Can we take one more question before we call it a day, so that we can have time for other things? I believe we have dealt with the key things.
I have a question, please.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Okay, go ahead, please. Let's be fast. Go ahead.
Okay. Thank you. Can I go ahead or?
Okay, who is talking?
Okay.
Let's do it moderately. Okay, let me call on Adedapo. I will take question from Adetunji. Please just raise your hand if you have questions. But if your question has been answered, there's no point asking it again. If you have talked about it. Okay, Adedapo, you can go ahead.
Okay, good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Yeah, my name is Adedapo Motosho. You've almost answered all questions raised, and my preferred question also. But I just want to ask for your assurance on one more thing. Based on the referral that actually referred me to your tutorial, online tutorial, I got an information from the last diet that you have an issue with the record. So I just want to, secure the audience and ask for the assurance that will there be record on these diet questions? Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. Yeah, so truly we had issues with recording at some point because the issue there was that the recording platform we are using, the license that we are using before, the guy that was in charge moved to another industry. So the platform and everything was taken away from him. And so we couldn't, so during those periods, we couldn't record those classes. And those were the issues that we had those periods. But later on, as the diet proceed, we had to get license from Zoom, and which we are currently using. And we are also looking at also getting licenses from Google Meet and also Microsoft. But we have tackled the place of recording. As you can see, we already have license for Zoom. And so all our classes will be recorded. All our classes will be recorded, and the recordings will be made available to students. Even this class that we are having now is being recorded and is going to be dropped on our YouTube channel. So we understand the fact that online class is very good when it is recorded, so that students who are not available can go back and also create time for it. So recording is not an issue, but what we want to do is that we are planning to get more licenses from different platforms that we can use to record our class. But we already have 2 in place. But we know that this diet, we might have a lot of students coming in. And so we want to ensure we have a sufficient recording platform such that when classes are going on simultaneously, they are all being recorded. But for the issue of recording is absolutely taken care of. You have recorded classes for your work.
Sorry, I got distracted while I wanted to talk the other time.
Okay, I hope that answers your question, Mr. Adelapo.
Adedapo, yes.
Adedapo, sorry. Okay, thank you very much, sir. All right, a lady was talking. You can go ahead.
Okay, sorry, I was kind of a bit late. So I did not listen to the initial part of the conversation. So I don't know, how long have you guys been into these online classes? Has it been in existence, or this is actually the first time? Because I'm kind of new here and I need some little information so I can be able to register, because I'm in the north here. I'm currently in Katsina State, but the issue I have is I've been skeptical on registering because we don't have any physical lecture theater, and also the library is the place where they do lock early. So that's why I've been having second thought, like, okay, should I register or not? Then not until I was able to join this group, then I was like, okay, let me just give it a try if I can write maybe 1 or 2 papers by November. But I don't know how long you guys have been, because what you've been doing, the more you do it, the more you perfect, or the more your perfection. So that's why sorry.
Okay, thank you very much for that question. So we have students who are from various continents in the world, like students that passed some of the last diet that we did. Some of them are from the north, some of them are from the south and the like. So we have students from different continents all over the world joining us for lectures. So for the lecturers, for me, I've been lecturing for close to 7 years. I started with 8 year students, ATWA, because I finished while I gained admission in the undergraduate. Within my second 200 level, I had qualified for AAT. So within that period, we had a tutorial center in school then, and we opened an AAT tutorial center, and I've been lecturing. In fact, some of my students who just qualified last diet were students that I taught from AAT. So I've been lecturing for 7 years, but that was lecturing from AAT Ican Tutorial Center, and then lecturing in my department because I was the head of tutorial in my department. So lecturing is part of the thing I love to do. But when it comes to the establishment of this Ican lecture now, this is our third diet. The first one we did was last year, November. Last year, November, we weren't that much. We weren't that much that we did it together, and it wasn't that blossom like this. But we now came to we came to the point where we put in structures in place, you know. So and then we registered the business, and this will be our third diet that we'll be doing, and the past two diets that we have done, coupled with the other diets that we have also done, we have produced students who have qualified, who have moved from AAT to professional students, who have also moved from one stage to the other. So you are rest assured of the fact that our lecturers are chartered accountants. The lecturer that is teaching you, they are lecturers that know what they are doing. It's not lecturer that we don't just employ lecturers that just come and teach. No, these are lecturers that these are things that they do on the job. Aside from teaching, these are the practical exposure of those lecturers also builds them up. So our lecturers are seasoned with the current happenings of what is going on in the economy. So be rest assured of the quality lectures that will be given to you guys. And apart from lectures, we have accounting trainings that we do. These are people who teach this accounting training. These are people who are exposed in the industry, who have certain knowledge in the industry. And also these are people that also take us this course. So they are lecturers that are well qualified. They are not half-baked. They are well qualified for this profession, for this lecturing job, you know. So we've been lecturing for a while. And apart from when I'm even saying 3 diets, I'm not saying that's the diet that they started lecturing. They have been lecturing right from school, you know. But when I mean 3 diets, I mean these are the time we all gathered together to now say, okay, let's take it up to Ican lecture, CITN, and the likes, you know. So, but they've been lecturing over time. And some of their students also are part of us. Some of them, they are qualified. Some of them, they are joining us for accounting training, and they are equipping themselves on the job, because we do accounting trainings. We train you on how to grow on the job, what you should expect, how to prepare financial statements, management accounts, and all accounting jobs, all accounting roles. We also train you. So some of them join. And the reason why they joined is because these people have been teaching them. They know these lecturers, and you know, they join us. So we are seasoned lecturers, and be rest assured of the quality of lecture you get from us. I don't know if that answers your question.
Yes, sure it does. Thank you. How about in the case of mentorship? Because some of us, since we are novice, we like to need some kind of guidance. Is it possible when we join the lecture, do we have free access to mentorship in case of if we need any guidance or any basic information?
About the exam, right?
Yes, mentorship, like, okay, you know, sometimes we need someone to kind of motivate us like that, push other,
Yes.
because some of us.
Yes, so you have that, because you'll be you have a WhatsApp group where you communicate, and then you would also meet up other students, and the lecturer is also there encouraging you, telling you what you should do. All you just need is to abide by the lecturer's instruction. Because if
Okay.
you don't abide by those instructions, you will not get the benefit of those instructions. So abide by the instruction and do what you're expected. You will definitely get. So we are not leaving you. Once you are part of us, once you register, we are together. We communicate every day. We talk on WhatsApp. We talk on the group, and we encourage ourselves to the exam and after the exam. And continuously, we are all professional. We also have an alumni group where students that pass through this process, we have an alumni group where we are all gathered and the like. So there are lots of benefits to get from us.
Okay. It's okay then. Thank you very much.
Okay. So I think oh, we have, I think I've answered iPhone. iPhone has stopped. Olubenga has stopped.
No.
Adeyemi, I think I've not answered Adeyemi. Adeyemi, can I take your last question before I go?
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Yes, sir. I really appreciate this platform. And actually, a friend of mine invited me to this group. What I want to ask is somehow different because I joined this meeting lately. So I don't know what you've discussed, but my own case is somehow different. I just want to ask for a privilege if it's possible. I'm a registered student of ACC, not Ican, due to some reasons. So I want to ask if there are classes I can join, because ever since I've registered, I've not taken any exam. And because I'm only studying on my own. I don't have any class or tutorial that I can attend. Though I have interest in joining, but I can't find anyone, either online or physical. But I don't know if there is any help you can do for me. And if I can join the ICANN classes, maybe it will help me to study for my own exams too. So that's just what I want to ask. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you. Thank you very much, sir. Okay, so for ACCA, there are tutorial centers in Lagos that takes care of ACCA. And I think, though they are not really common like ICANN, that's one thing I can say. They are not really common like ICANN, but they are available. I will make findings and then I would communicate for anyone that we can join. So, but you know, ACCA is much more advanced than ICANN, but they are mostly similar in terms of questions related and the topics under each of them. I would have suggested that you attend an ACCA class on the norms so that they can also give you, because we are not really focused on ACCA, but what we do also, we take questions from ACCA and we solve, but we are not really focused on ACCA. But what we do also is also related. So, but if you can find an ACCA center, that would be 100% best for you. You know, but if you cannot and you want to now join ICANN, you would need to put in the extra effort from your end. Though the guidance, like I said, ACCA, the guidance, what they teach you in ACCA are things that you also find in ICANN, but ACCA is a bit advanced than ICANN. So I would have even preferred you to look for an ACCA center and join them. But if you know you want to keep yourself abreast, you want to keep up yourself so that you can also apply, you can join and take courses from us. The knowledge can be used in your ACCA. You can use the knowledge to prepare for ACCA. So that means that, you know, we are not solving questions like side by side. The way we are teaching ICANN now, we solve past questions in ICANN and the like. We are not doing that with ACCA. So that means that whatever knowledge you get from ICANN, you need to go and put it into ACCA and see how you can dissect and all of that. That will keep you abreast and that will keep you on top of what you want to do. You get, so I would encourage it. Let's search for ACCA centers in Lagos, either physical or online. So, but for the online, I have no idea who is doing that, but I'll make findings. You know, but for we have not fully integrated into ACCA platform. You know, so for part of what we do, there at least you see 50% of it in ACCA, but we are not fully integrated yet. You know, so but in the nearest future, we plan going into that aspect because we also see it as where students are also needing one or two challenge, having one or two challenge, and we see that it's something that we can provide value for students in those regards. So that would be my advice that I'll give to you.
All right, sir. Thank you so much. I really appreciate. In fact, it's helped me a lot. Even if I can find the ACCA classes, I don't think it's a bad thing to get some ideas and some logic too from your classes too. So I'm
Yeah,
thinking of that way. If I can run the two together, so I think it will help me a lot. But
yeah.
presently, I'm in Osun State due to the nature of my job. So I don't know how possible that can be too. Sorry for taking your time.
No, it's not. It's possible. It's online. So wherever you are, just be available for classes and take up lectures with us. Read the materials we give to you, and then apply it. Then you get ACCA material also, and then you'll be comparing and see where there are difference. If there is any difference, you try to brush up yourself so that you can meet up those gaps. And then with that knowledge, and if you can read and put in the effort, with that knowledge, you can go for ACCA, and then you are good to go.
Thank you so much, sir. I really appreciate. Thank you
Well,
very much.
yeah, welcome, sir. Okay, thank you very much, everyone, for partaking. I think we have taken all questions from this, and I really want to appreciate each and every one of us for taking our time to be present. And so you have my number, you can always reach out to me. Our classes will start next week. Are going to start next week. So you can make your payment so that I can add you to the lecture class. So you can start meeting up with your colleague, and then we'll drop. One of the things we'll also do is that we'll drop materials ahead of time. We'll drop materials ahead of time for you so that you can read ahead of the class and have understanding of what we'll do. That alone has put you in the right frame of your mind, such that when we are taking any solution, you are going to understand what we are doing. So pay up so that you can join the class. iPhone is asking, iPhone, are you in our WhatsApp group? Okay, so I'm going to forward the fee. I'm going to forward it to the group now so that you can all see. Let me do that now as I'm talking. Just hold on. I'll share it now to the group. So just check the WhatsApp group chat. You are going to see the fee. So just make your payment so we can add you to the lecture group, and then we start communicating. Further information also will be passed across to you. So I've sent it to the group. You see the fee. So the number of papers you are writing, make the payment, and then we'll take it up from there. So our lecture start next week Saturday from 8 a.m. So the timetable is tentative. So the timetable is tentative. Tentative means we are going to is subject to change. So because we don't know the particular set of students that we are going to have on board, so one or two things might change in the timetable, but for now, that's the timetable we use. But if it warrants that we change it, at least for some time, we'll adjust it, and just to meet up our need, because the class is very, very flexible. So we'll adjust it to suit your need. Ican registration is not open yet. It's, I think, by the beginning of July, they are going to release the hard part. So you can start your registration now. You can start, if you have not registered as a student member, you can start it now so that you can process it ahead of time, have your registration number, and then apply for the exam as soon as possible. So that's my WhatsApp number. In case you are not on the WhatsApp group, you can chat me up on WhatsApp. This is my WhatsApp number. You can chat me up on WhatsApp where I will add you to our full WhatsApp group. So this is Elite Accounting Professional Services. What we do, aside from Ican lectures, we do trainings, accounting trainings. We do finance trainings. We do CAC registration. We do tax. We do consulting. And so we also guide you. We also do private tutorials. Maybe at your place of work, you are having one or two challenge and you need a professional to guide you. Maybe there are certain things you cannot handle and you want to have the knowledge on how to do it. We teach you and we groom you on your job so that you can be much more efficient as a professional accountant on the job. So aside Ican lecture, we do all of these activities just to build you up as a professional accountant. So you can refer our services to friends, to colleagues, to families, to also partake of it. And if you know any professional accountant or anyone who is also planning to be one of us and they are not on our WhatsApp group, you can chat me up and then send the WhatsApp group link to them so that they can all join us and also learn. So one of the things we also do is that we groom ourselves at our place of work. If you are in our WhatsApp group, we discuss practical issues at our place of work. We ask questions because nobody knows it all. Nobody knows it all. We are all here to learn. Even me, I don't know it all. I learn from you, you learn from me, I learn from other colleagues. So we are all, nobody is an island of knowledge. So we learn from each other. So if you have questions bothering you at your place of work, you can always drop it in the group chat. We have professionals, we have ACCA holders, we have CFA holders, we have CEOs, we have business owners, we also have head of accounts, everybody on that WhatsApp group, and they are all ready to provide solutions to you. So there are massive benefits that you are going to get apart from lecturing, apart from all you also growing to become a chartered accountant with us, you also groom yourself on the job. If you can always reach out to colleagues, you can always ask questions. If there is anything you are not clear about at your place of work and you need guidance, you need somebody to throw more light, you need somebody to tell you what and what, feel free. Everybody ask questions. Even me too, I ask questions. And people tell me, okay, these are things you need to do. That's how you learn. In this profession, we don't isolate ourselves. We grow together. We build ourselves together. So don't keep it to yourself. Say it out. People will help you. That's how you grow and you become the best in this profession. So if you also need private mentoring on the job, private teaching, private lecturing, private trainings and accounting trainings, like recently we completed a training on bank reconciliation statement. And next month, by the 29th of this month, we are going to be having a free training on fixed asset register, how to keep fixed asset register at your place of work in accordance with IFRS or IAS 16. So we are going to be having a free training on that. That is coming up on Thursday by 2 p.m. And then later in the month of July also, we are going to be having a training on QuickBook accounting software. That one is a paid class. It goes for 8,000 naira. And there are massive benefits to get from that training. So we do things that will build you as a professional. And I tell you, once you are part of what, at the end of the year, at the end of this year, you are going to look back and say, thank God I joined this group because of the values and what you would have added to yourself. In all, we do our best, but God fixes everything. So we do not leave God aside in whatever we do in this group, in this business. God is the orchestrator of everything we do. So I want to appreciate each and every one of us for coming Thank you so much. I can see Benga says I've not taken his question. Okay, Benga, can we do that in 2 minutes very quickly? Can you quickly just answer your question? Olubenga, are you there?
Thank you very much for the updates. I'm so much enlightened about everything you have taught us now. At least I can have a kind of confidence that, okay, by the time I'm writing November diet, I won't have any problem.
By
But
the
the
grace
question
of God.
is there any pack, like the packs that have been used or the textbooks that have been used by those that just got chartered that you can also compile for us to also make use of so that I can make the journey faster and easier?
Okay, thank you very much. So for that, we have our material that we use to teach. We have our own material that we use to teach. So, but for other colleagues, you know, everybody has different materials that they can learn from and use. So, but what we know is that the material we use to teach is very, very simplified. And you can always use it to access any other material. So, but if we have any other material, one thing is that in Ican, one of the mistakes students usually make is that students pack a lot of material. When you take too much material together and you use it, it's very good. But if you don't have a basic background knowledge on certain topics and courses, if you take another material, you just get lost. So we encourage that at least the material we use to teach you in the class, understand it and understand it to the fullest. Once you have understood it, just imagine you have understood cost of capital, you have understood capital budgeting. There is no material that you will see on capital budgeting that you will not be able to tackle whatever the author has put in that material. But what students do is that they don't even understand a particular material and they want to use 5 materials together. So when you read this one, you don't have understanding. You read the other one, you don't have understanding. Everything just crash on your head. You don't even understand what you just read. But when you take a material, you stick with one material, you understand what that topic is saying. You now want to boost your knowledge again. You want to further your knowledge. You take up another material and on that same topic, you will understand where that author is coming from. You will not be lost in such. So we don't encourage a situation where a student have not gotten a full grasp of such topic and then you are taking too many material in your capacity. You will get lost and you will not even understand anything at the end of the day. So we encourage that at least if the material we give you and we use to teach you, understand it first. We couple with the fact that we have taught you and you have read the matter, understand it. Know that even when you are sleeping and they wake you and say, what is group account? What is IFRS 5? What is this? You can confidently say it. When you take up another material, ACCA material and every other material, and you read it, you already know what that thing is all about. You won't be lost and you won't be saying, how did this guy do it like this? How did he do it like this? You know, so as much as it is good for you to have too many material, please do not choke up yourself with too many materials. There are some topics in this Ican exam, you don't need extra material. That Ican pack for you is okay. So there are some topics that, there are some courses that it is only Ican pack we are going to use to teach you. Why? Ican pack is much more updated than other authors. For instance, for taxation, advanced tax, and taxation at skills level is Ican material we use. Why? Ican have updated their material up to the present 2022 Finance Act. But you will see if you check other textbook, they are still using old acts. And Ican will set question for you on the new Finance Act. Now, the new Finance Act 2023 is out. But Ican have not updated their material to 2023 to capture the new Finance Act. But at least they've updated to 2022 Finance Act. But some authors, some other textbooks, they are still using 2018, 2019 Finance Act. If you do that, if you use that to prepare for Ican exam, you will miss it because Ican will be asking you the recent update. So We are going to be using, for some topics, you don't need extra material. Don't deceive yourself. Once you pick that material and we teach you, you are good to go. Don't bombard yourself with too many materials, and at the end of the day, you cannot even dissect questions. So for like taxation, we are going to use Ican Pack. It's not that we don't have other textbooks. We have other textbooks, but they are not updated like Ican Pack. Ican Pack is much more updated. So we are going to use Ican Pack for some courses, and then the latest happenings, like the new Finance Act 2023, where the changes were made. When we get to those topics, we are going to tell you the new changes that has been made. And that changes is what you would use in the exam, not the old one. Because I can expect you to apply the new change that has been put in place. You get, so don't bombard yourself with too many materials. Use the one. We are experienced in this. Just follow what we have told you, and we pray that God will crown all our efforts in Jesus' name. Amen. I hope that answers your question.
Thank you so much. I'm really enlightened.
All right. Thank you very much, everyone. So I'm going to make this recording available on our YouTube page. You can always share it with any other person who needs clarification on Ican and the likes, and they can get further enlightened by just listening to our videos. So don't forget, as you are listening to our videos, also like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. So thank you very much. I really appreciate you guys. Do enjoy. So don't forget to make payments, and don't forget to join the class if you are not in the WhatsApp group page, so that you can be well abreast with what is going on. So thank you, and do enjoy a wonderful weekend. Bye for now.
Thank you, sir.